Today is July 25th, and I am working on inline fertilizing. Now, I had a totally different thing. I bought one of those Venturi inline things, and it did not work at all. Okay, first of all, excuse the work in progress we got going here. That's just one more thing added to my list. We'll get it eventually. You can see the beautiful bee's balm, and it's got a bumblebee on it. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, so what I wanted to show you was this Venturi. Now, ignore the brass fittings because I had to buy those, because on the ends of this Venturi, on both ends, are males, 1/2 inch, and it's NPT or something. It's different threading than your regular garden hose. So I had to buy 2 different kinds of fittings, which one was this 1/2 inch NPT or whatever, I think that's what that is, to the regular garden 3/4 inch regular garden hose bib. And then on this end I had to buy just a coupler, male to male garden hose, so that I could attach this into my drip system here. Now, what I tried to do, I literally tried this thing every which way. I did it before the timer and after the timer. I did it, let's see, oh, I got that bumblebee like right next to my face. I did it before and after the backflow preventer, and I did it before and after the pressure regulator. So I don't know. I even tried it on this regular hose that doesn't have any sort of pressure regulation or anything on it. I tried that. There's a flow indicator on this. It points this way, so the water source comes in this way. I did, just for funsies, also install it this way with all these fittings on the opposite end in case it was put together backwards, because I just didn't know. Guys, I literally tried like everything. I could not get that thing to go. Now, it would fill up the tube with, I don't know if it was actually fertilizer or if it was just water. So it would fill up, but nothing in the bucket would empty and nothing in the bucket would fill. So it wasn't like going backwards. So I don't know. I just couldn't make it work. I got sick of fussing and fighting with it. So I bought one of these. And this obviously just connects to a garden hose. We got a quick connect on there. It worked pretty well. Wasn't sad about it. But I decided to go with this EZ-FLO. Now, I haven't tried it, I haven't tested it, I've watched a lot of videos on it just to make sure. And this is just the 3/4 gallon tank, which I think will be fine for our little garden. So this basically comes with this installation guide, which is actually pretty in-depth. And this just shows you how the agitation valve works. So let me unscrew this. So basically, this is what it looks like on the inside. And the big thing with the filter on it is where the fertilizer is actually going to get pulled up. And then this other small pointed tip is just where, this is called the agitator. And the water's just going to spray down there and spray into the tank and kind of keep it swirling around in there. Now, you can read that this says, to avoid tank rupture, do not leave system under constant pressure. So I guess I'm probably going to be just removing this tank on and off. So where my hose is in full sun anyway, and I don't think I want it to sit in full sun. I've seen videos and had other people say that you're going to want this in shade. Now, granted, I could potentially stick it in there with all that grass and bees balm and stuff. So either way, this works. I'm gonna just take really good care of it. So it also came with these 2 hoses here, and this dark hose goes to this blue little blue end. And this is the in. You can see it says in right there, because you don't really have to see if water is making it into there, because you'll kind of know. But this end, this hose is clear, so it goes into the out end where the fertilizer is going to come out, and that way you can tell that it's working, which is really cool. But I saw somebody do a video, and honestly, I watched so many videos I can't remember, where they actually put this dark end, like, because it came with these little shut-off valves, so you can shut, because you got to shut one off, and I guess it helps like create the suction. But these little shut-off valves came with the kit, and you got to cut a piece of the hose and put the shut-off valve on. And I saw somebody on a video actually put a clear piece onto the solid tubing, just so that you could see the water come through it. So I'm going to do that because I don't see any reason not to. It's kind of a neat idea. And it came with this little fitting right here, and this just is the part that connects to your hose, and then the hose comes out this way, and then you just match the blue side with the blue hose over here, so the black one will go there, and then the green side with the clear hose to the green little inlet right there. Then it also came with this, these are called flow discs, and basically if you read in the manual, it shows you use different restrictions for different size gardens. Okay, so here you can see it says the white flow disc is if you have 120 to 60 gallons per hour pumping out, black flow 60 to 30 gallons per hour, and the red flow disc is 30 to 7.5 gallons per hour. Now I'm gonna kind of guess that mine could be in that 120 to 60 range, but I'm not sure because I don't know how much that emitter tube actually puts out. It's a little windy out here as always. So and it says in the directions, if you're not sure, just go ahead and start out without one, and I guess it's gonna fit into this fitting in here. You can see where the little flow disc would sit right there, so it just fits down in there, and you just got to make sure that it's not, you know, tipped or anything, that it's flat against there, and then put that on. But we'll see if we need that. Okay, so I'm just going to get my barbed fitting turn-off valve into these hoses, which I have to use both hands for, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I got these all put together, this clear one, like I said, goes onto this green, goes into this green one, and I think it's just going to push in there. And let me see. Yeah, it just pushed in there. It's easy, and it doesn't pull out, so good. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Sorry guys if I'm taking you along for the ride on this. I don't have a tripod or anything like that. I've been looking at them though. Okay, so that part's all set. And now I just got to connect this here. Alright, so we got that part done. So it's all set up. Now I'm going to take this over there. And the instructions on the booklet actually says to install this as the last component. Now most of the videos I watched put it directly onto something like this and had a big hose that came off before it went to their drip. I'm really hoping that I'm doing this right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it after both the backflow preventer and the pressure regulator. So I'm going to turn this off even though it's not on right now, but just in case. Alright, so we got that all done. Now I just have to fill this. Now it says that you can just fill it with dry water-soluble fertilizer or liquid fertilizer. So I have the dry water soluble stuff that we're gonna try and test out. They recommend using dyes so you can tell when it's actually going through here. So like a little bit of food coloring if your fertilizer doesn't have enough color in it. So this is the regular Miracle-Gro that I had left over from last year. There's not a lot in here. And from what I understand is, since this is 0.75 basically gallons, if you set it to fast, it'll pump out 75 gallons per hour. And I think that's all we want to do on the fast setting. Now it says if you want to just have it running on your system all the time, which I'm not going to do just because I don't want to rupture this tank. Maybe next year or the year after we'll invest in like one of the bigger ones. Then you can just like leave it on there and fill it up for, you know, what you're going to be using for a long time and then set it to the slow setting. But I think I'm just going to do fast and see what happens. See how long it takes to go through it, if it works at all. Hopefully it does. Okay, so here you can see the feed rate. Without the discs, it takes 75 gallons to empty it. So 75 gallons an hour. I'm hoping that we're around that, but I don't know. Because I guess I could set the watering to happen for 2 hours and just see what happens. But I think we're still going to start it at fast, just so I can get it over with in one shot and take the tank back off. Otherwise, if you were going to leave it in place, you would do like slow, and it would feed just a little bit every time it watered, and then you just have to check for fertilizer levels every now and then. But so we're going to start with no flow disc and see if it'll start pulling fertilizer or not. And I'm going to go fill the tank and see what happens. Now, and I thought I would point out too that this gives you kind of an example of how much you want to add. And this Miracle-Gro stuff that I'm using does ask for 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. So this says without the tube or without any of the flow discs, it would take 75 tablespoons to empty the tank with. And if I had a flow disc on the fast setting, it would only take 19 gallons of water. So I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna run the system for a couple hours. And the plants are big and strong, most of them, so they should be able to handle it. Hopefully it doesn't end up being that. I don't think I've got anywhere near 75 tablespoons in there though, so I think we're closer to this number maybe. I don't know. It was like maybe a third of a bag. Okay, so I got the granular water-soluble fertilizer in here. Now, they say to fully top this off with water before adding your cap, so that it will eventually get a good vacuum seal. I'm gonna just slosh this around a little bit to get it started on mixing. Now remember, even though it seems like a strong concoction anyways, it's going to be mixing with the water as it comes out, so it's going to be diluted no matter what. Usually there's like a wand or something on here, but somebody used it and it is not on here at the moment, so I'm going to use this right now. Okay, so here's future me, because yesterday apparently I hit the pause button, or actually I failed to hit the pause button when I went inside, and then I failed to hit the record button and instead hit the pause button. Anyways, I'm missing a chunk of footage. So all I did is, once this was full of the fertilizer, like I don't have the top on right now. Let's see, there, I had to turn this around so it makes more sense. So the water comes in through this one. I had both of these closed. And this one, of course, is where the fertilizer comes out. So I open this one first, like this, and let it do whatever it was going to do, because that's what everything I read and the videos I watched said was to open that one first. It didn't seem to move anything. I assume that's because the water just really had nowhere else to go. So, and this was like fully, I think it was kind of already pressurized. There wasn't much room in there anyways. So when I opened this, I started to see the red liquid slowly start moving through there, and then it just started going, and I was so excited because nothing has been working lately, and so that was super cool to see. So unfortunately, even though this worked, my recording did not. So hopefully this makes sense, and I think that's basically where I was. I set that, like I said, to be about 2 hours to run manually, and I walked away. I think that's that's the only part that I was really missing, was the actual, getting it started. So sorry about that, guys. All right, back to yesterday me. Well, it's been 8 minutes and the fertilizer is still going through, which is awesome. There's still a little bit of air coming through there, but it's going through, so I'm not really worried. And that could be maybe because I just tipped it around, because now it looks like it's like refilling, and I don't see air. So far so good. Okay, it's actually been an hour and 20 minutes. I had to eat because I got to get ready for work, but it's like pure white now. And it looks like through the hose, it's all white. So it looks like all the fertilizer has been actually used up. And we still have 34 minutes left on this 2-hour run. So I'm probably just going to turn that off because it gets watered again at like 7. So we'll turn that off and we'll take a look at inside and see if there's anything left in there. Just turn this valve off, and it seems like it's not really too pressurized because I'm able to start twisting the top and it's not exploding, so I guess it's probably okay. Yep, it's fine. Let's see. I can still see a little bit of granulated fertilizer down there that maybe didn't dissolve. I mean, it looks like, if anything, there's maybe like a 1/4 cup of fertilizer down there, which if I would have let it continue to dissolve, maybe that would have been good enough. So I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this. If I want to just leave this sitting here with the valves turned off, if it's safe to do that, since, I mean, I can tuck it back there, I guess, in the shade there, turn both those valves off, so there should be no water that'll go into here and no water that'll come out of here. And I don't know if I should just actually, like, I'm kind of wondering if I should just leave this cap like sitting on here loosely. That way there's no possible chance of any pressure building up. Okay, so the cap is just like barely on there. Let's see. Oops, am I twisting it the wrong way? Yeah. Okay. So basically, I just got this just sitting on there, and it's not screwed down at all. That way there's no possible chance of pressure. Now, I don't know what's going to happen at 7:30 when this turns back on. I suppose I could just test this real quick and see what's going to happen. Let's see if it does anything, if it fills this or anything like that. No? Good. That's good, because that valve is closed, so it shouldn't be filling it. And imagine, let's just double check. I think the water's probably still coming out. Yeah, it looks like everything's still being watered. So, looks like it works just fine. So that's good news. Finally, something went our way. So I'm going to turn this back to off so it shuts off. That's just the backflow preventer, and turn it back on so it's back on its program. Alright, sorry guys, the wind got really bad there for a minute. Anyways, I'm super happy with that. Again, that's the EZ-FLO 3/4 gallon fertilizer injector. So I'm super excited it actually worked. Really happy about that. I had my doubts simply just because it seems like nothing ever works quite right. I'm just relieved on this because that will save us a lot of time and energy and a lot of the stooping and bending for all of us actually. So if you made it through this and watched the whole video, I super appreciate it. I think it's really cool. I thank you guys so much. God bless you. Take care.